Welcome to the finals. Now, I talked earlier about the format. In this case, if Greippi loses a match, he gets to stay in the finals and have one more try, but if Garmilator wins, he win. No, that's the same condition. Okay, if Garmilator loses, he's out, right? And so Greippi wins the tournament. If Greippi loses, they get to play another round, because Garmilator has already lost one, but Greippi hasn't. Basically, you can think of this as an extension to their best of one that they played, turning it into a best of three, right? That's the case. So yeah, I think, you know, if I make like 2 videos or 1 video, you'll know, okay, like it's either he won or he didn't, right? Because you'll know how many videos there are. So to keep you all in horrible suspense, I'm going to cast them together. So you won't know who the winner is, which means it won't be spoiled for you, which is good. So first map is going to be the Boneyard. Whose pick would this have been? This would have been Greippi's pick, I think, after Garmilator had banned something. Although I'm not totally sure how the pick bans ended up turning out there. There was a lot of confusion, like I said, in this tournament anyway, so it's kind of difficult to analyze like the pick bans and really see how things worked out. But yeah, it's going to be Coalition versus Coalition as before. Notably, they could change this if they wanted to, because this is not a best of 3, but who wouldn't want to play Coalition with the current meta, am I right? So let's hop right into it. You know how the Boneyard is, sometimes things like to disappear on this map, so let's just hope that that doesn't happen. Well, I'm trying to remember their last game. Maybe I should have watched this before I cast this. I can't really remember what happened too well. All I know is Garmilator did not end up winning that one. Well, he's going for his LAV first build here, which is pretty interesting. Against Discara, you notice he went for AAVs first. His opponent, meanwhile, still has not researched any such thing. So it'd be interesting to see what he's planning on going for. Probably an AAV rush. It's pretty common. I think he put one Salvager on RUs first. I'm not totally certain, though. But Garmilator making 3 Salvagers, and then I assume he's going to flip into some LAVs, although this might be where he surprises me and then goes for, like... No, yeah, that's the case. He's going to go for 4 Salvagers and then into LAVs. His opponent still hasn't researched LAV fabrication, which means it's probably Sport Cruiser first. Oh yeah, it's already being built. Look at that. So that would be the case then. So Greippi definitely going for more of the economic build right here, and that's going to put him ahead in terms of economy, unless Garmilator can get a little bit of damage done with the LAVs. And yeah, that's what we saw last game, right? It was on the shallows was the problem. And so Garmilator tried the same thing, but of course you can't really do economic damage on the shallows, can you? And so Greippi went Sport Cruiser first, and then he got a second, and then he got a third, and then it was a 3 base against 2 the whole time, and he ended up winning. Of course it's more complicated than that, but that was essentially what happened. And so it's going to be up to Garmilator to show he can do something better on a map that favors early aggression a little bit more. The shallows, of course, like the most defensive map in the game. Like, it's so hard to get early game attacked on that map. Anyway, Garmilator going for 2 early game base runners, as he often does. These 2 base runners having a bit of a showdown in the middle right here. This probe is going to see basically everything Greippi had desired to see, namely that there's no Sport Cruiser out just yet. I see LAVs on the field already, so I know I'm ahead economically speaking. He's getting AAV fabrication early. There you go. It's difficult to see hills like that when you're up on the top-down menu, so it helps to zoom in sometimes. Right, well, a little bit of damage getting chipped down onto the space runner right here. And turrets are coming out already? Oh yeah, he already put a turret down there. So Greippi can put a turret down to defend whenever he wants to, but it seems like he wants to do that with his carrier instead. And indeed, AAV fabrication is finishing in like negligible time, so he'll be able to push some of those out onto the field. This probe running in here again probably wants to see the tech choices. And he's going to see nothing! Absolutely nothing! Which tells him, okay, probably he went for a Sport Cruiser after this. And I gotta say, I'm not totally sure if I agree with it, because this number of LAVs here on the field is not really going to get Garmilator or anything, it seems. Indeed, as this AAV moves back into this resource patch, it's definitely looking that way right now. He's not even going to get any damage on the Sport Cruiser. And so I kind of wonder, like, what was the advantage that Garmilator got out of having the LAVs early on? I feel like Greippi's going to be very pleased to see how things turned out. 2 base runners now taking out artifacts. One's being scored already, and it looks like this turret here is definitely like the meta position for the turret to like ensure the artifact extraction. But now there's 2 AAVs out on the map. Fighter and gunship fabrication also being researched now for Greippi. This LAV pops out the probe, which is quite nice. And Garmilator should be on 2... No. Oh, whoa. What are you doing? This isn't a carrier rush, is it? Because, I mean... the normal thing to do, alright, would be... Okay, second base time now. Maybe he's like, well, my opponent already has a second base, so I don't know, just try to kill him. Is Greippi going to see it? That's going to be crucial. He's going to see the carrier, so Greippi's going to know now. Because he wouldn't have expected this earlier when he saw these LAVs over, these salvagers over here. He's like, okay, he's going on to second base now. Oh, look at that, a carrier. What are you doing here? This is mega interesting. So, yeah, Greippi seems to know it. He's getting railgun fabrication already, and he's producing some strike fighters, which is going to allow him to maybe put some hurt down on these railguns. But like, man, what the heck? This is really not what I expected. This artifact going to attempt to extract now, and this is crucial for Greippi because that would give him more carrier power, which is apparently going to be important in a second here. But these LAVs are running in here to try to take this one down, and I think they're going to succeed. Strike fighters come in, pop a missile onto the carrier, get 2 on these railguns. Doesn't really seem to be anything to stop them. Garmilator may be putting down an anti-air turret now. That remains to be seen. 1 railgun goes down. I think an anti-air turret post would make a lot of sense right there. Although the strike fighters come back in, they're going to take out one on their own. It's a good pickup. But this railgun also very low on health now. And crucially, the presence of the strike fighters, in other words, translated into an extracted artifact because these LAVs could not chase that one down. How much health does that base runner have? Missing enough to where I say these could have actually killed it. So that's going to essentially guarantee Greippi a bit more carrier power in this fight that's coming up. And he is finishing Power Reserve 2 as well. And suddenly I feel he's going to have as much power as Garmilator and, you know, bases. So I feel like this will be good for him, right? He's making AAVs, not sure what I think about that. Although it is useful actually, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Although 2 smokes on the Sport Cruiser, I don't really get that one. Power up your carriers, mate. Mates, actually they're both not doing it, but that's alright. Garmilator now getting Power Reserve 2. And he wants to get some more artifacts. There's AAVs coming into his base, he doesn't seem to have any interest in stopping that. Damage is starting to come down on this carrier, and it's not insignificant. I'd love to see Garmilator put some more power into range here, or 1 into armor, 1 into repairs as well, something like that. He takes out a support cruiser, look at that. Couldn't the support cruiser have just fallen back? This is going to be a successful carrier rush. It really is. I think Garmilator's going to pull it off, because there's nothing here to stop this, and any more units that come out for Greippi are just going to pop right into the meat grinder of all these LAVs and stuff. My goodness. Garmilator, you bully. He's gonna do it. He's gonna carrier rush in the grand finals, nonetheless. Oh, what a thing! I've never seen this before. I'd love to see him put 1 power in armor, just because why not, you know? All the units getting hosed over here. This support cruiser flees. He's probably going to start mining over here if he desires to, anyway. Greippi's still producing. Garmilator produces not. But all these units from Greippi are just getting killed instantly. And this support cruiser is going to go down now. Eco sacked. Success. Neither player has any eco now, and another artifact gonna extract meanwhile for... Oh no, the turrets just killed the AVs. They could have been instrumental in stopping the artifact from extracting. One more artifact extraction, and Garmilator goes from almost certainly gonna win this to there's no way he could lose this practically. Man, what am I watching here? This is the silliest. But it's gonna work, that's what's even better about it. Railgun's popping out right underneath the carrier. And they all go down. And the carrier health is pretty comparable at the moment, although the Garmilator comes out with 2,000 on top. I believe he's salvaging these, or retiring these salvagers. Support cruiser's getting a little bit of healing in on this carrier. And another artifact will shortly score. That's going to bring the damage up slightly. Because he's on top of his opponent, he can take 2 out there, put the 4 into here, and then have 4 power in the weapons against 3 of his opponents. Or he can put 2 into armor, or he can do nothing, I guess. That's also fine. Oh my goodness. This is just obscene. Excuse me. It's a carrier rush in the grand finals. Whoever built this carrier is going to be very mad with Garmilator. Like, dude, look how much damage you got on this thing. But not as mad as the guy who built this one. Yeah, it's going to be close, but Garmilator comes out on top of this. There's even another artifact scoring, so if Garmilator really needs to, he can abort and then just like win on artifacts. But there goes the carrier of Greippi. Okay, so that's how you carrier rush. I tried it earlier against Yola Swaggins as part of our like just for lols match where we just tried to cheese each other as much as we possibly could, but this one actually worked. And in the grand finals, would you believe it? Man, what a thing. So just make another base runner early on, get 2 artifacts out, and then run out there with the carrier. Wow. Props to you, my good sire. Props to you. Well, now I'm really excited to see what he can pull out for this ace match. I'm really excited for this. Let's see here. Yeah, Greippi ahead of economy, but it don't matter, do it. Tight end passage. They had to play it on this map. Oh. Anyway. Let's see what these players can pull out. 1-1 essentially in this fake best of 3 series. And we've seen it all now. This isn't going to be like Garmilator versus Descara from last Kharak Cup. I mean, that was like... oh, whoa. That was like really good coalition versus coalition late game, cruise missiles, battle cruises, whatever, you know, like the carrier battles type of stuff that we tend to see. This though, this is something different. I never would have expected this. Oh, look how much faster Garmilator is to assign his salvagers. Clearly he's going to win already. Mine salvagers, when I sought to assign them, were slow to the job. No wonder thou wert victorious. I shall abdicate. I hope someone gets that reference. Anyway, spawning down in the south here is Garmilator. This is usually like my preferred spawn on Titan Passage. I think it's just easier to defend and also easier to attack. Greippi gonna be spawning down here on the other end. You know what I think about this map. I've made that quite public. Although the scenery is pretty cool. Yeah, this rock. Oh my goodness. It's a little hard to see though, as you can tell. Ah, say, what's that in the distance? Could that be a Titan carrier? Why, yes it is. So that's pretty cool. Interestingly, the map is like bounded around this area, so you can't actually go down into the crater. I think it'd be... Wait, can you go back there? No, yeah, see the camera bounding on this map is not at all equivalent to the, because you can see the camera bounding right here, right? But like, this line clearly does not go parallel to it, right? In fact, it cuts in quite dramatically over here. And so you can see that like the map is cut off in a bit of an odd way. I think it'd be really cool, actually, if they would take this map and just like have it be around here. So like one player spawns like right there, and the other one spawns right there, and then the artifacts are like in the middle of the crater. Like, wouldn't that be like sick? I think that'd be really cool. Not sure about gameplay wise, because then, you know, you'd have to be attacking into like this huge low zone, which is difficult, but I think it'd be super cool. And then they can have this be like the flanking area, and then like there's an extraction zone there and one there. Although that's a pretty big map, but still. Anyway, oh yeah, they're playing a game here, I forgot. Well, this turret is getting some wicked nasty damage on the space burner, and it almost looks like it's just gonna be lost for nothing. I think it is. Look at that. And Garmilator probably looking to extract this art. I mean, obviously, but that's not gonna be hard for him at all. I mean, the only thing that could feasibly block this is the carrier. Once again, Greippi went economy first, and Garmilator going for another carrier rush. My dude. Hey man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Oh dear. He's got middle map control though. There's an AAV popping out here, but there's a carrier over here. I think this is gonna work. That's my prediction. Especially on this map, because even though there is like a square, actually, like the real playable map is like very narrow, so it's difficult to get behind people on this map. You kind of have to try to use this area, but it's difficult. He's gonna get away with it, I think. Now I say this because look, he's already getting railgun fabrication, all right, and he's got 2 artifacts right here, and both of them are probably gonna score. I don't really see how Garmilator's gonna, or how Greippi's gonna stop it, because like AVs are a good start, but there's a carrier here, right? It's getting one of its power reserves. These guys are already running in. Yeah. So he's gonna get, I believe, 2 artifacts out. He's already got power reserve 1. Greippi's gonna follow suit. Maybe he knows. Maybe he's realized what this means. Railgun gets 1 shot off before the smoke pops, and the second one will kill it, I think. So that's actually pretty lucky from Garmilator, but no, it's pure skill. Oh, it doesn't kill it though. Well, a salvager could kill it with a jetpack if it wanted to. Second smoke from Greippi's not very convincing. It is going to allow for the railgun to pick off that AAV. Greippi's AAV is just getting brutalized right here. There's 3 railguns now out on the field, and Garmilator's carrier running in with lots of power reserves. Going to be able to take those out, I would have thought. Power reserve 2 coming in now. Greippi following suit though. Actually, he's setting the meta these days. He's already getting power reserve 2 and railguns, so I think he knows. I think he remembers. We do not forgive, we do not forget, right? And indeed, this carrier was drawn very far back by this AAV push because he really felt like he needed to stop it. I would agree. I mean, otherwise, silenced weapons again. Otherwise, there was going to be some serious problems for Garmilator. Heck, why is it not shooting any missiles? That's funny. But that's gonna significantly slow down the timing of this push here, and I think now it's possible for Greippi to hold off. But still, look at the artifact count. Pretty soon gonna be 3-1. Support cruiser PD OP, look at that, it does 5 damage per shot. Alright, there we go. I mean, when have you ever seen that actually kill something, right? Look, damage actually at 1. That means it ignores the armor. That's OP. Couple of LAVs getting produced here. But yeah, this is the fundamental reason why I think this map is a little like, how do I say? It's a little sighted, right? It's because this is a high ground, alright? So if I'm attacking someone who's down here, I'm getting high ground. More accuracy, more damage. In railgun fights, that's like unbelievably crucial. Greippi just can't hold this, he just has to back away. Whereas he's actually got superior numbers here. Although this is an overextension for sure. Moving into where the opponent is getting high ground now. He's going to lose a lot of these rails here. Not a big fan of that. It was quite the overextension right there. It's going to cost him pretty dearly. I think all these railguns are going to go down. And I'm not sure if he's gotten any in exchange for this. So right after saying that the map is imbalanced, of course, I immediately get shown that actually if you defend it right, it's okay. I still think it's imbalanced, actually, just because like he didn't have to push out there. He could have just stayed here, but that's all right. The carrier, however, rearing its ugly head is going to not have power into range. Put full power into range. That'd be really nice. But yeah, this carrier represents a significant obstacle, and the AA post here looks a little funny, but actually that denies like probes, which are commonly used to do sighting for railguns. Oh, and the LAVs have found a nice backstabbing too. Look at this. The carrier is going to try to run in and stop this, but that's going to be tricky. Overkill, man. It's like Death Star style. 5 rails right here. They're on a nice high ground position, and they've got the carrier backing for them. Once again, puts power in range. Once he puts the power into range here, he's going to have a really good angle on those railguns. This support cruiser is going to go down. Wow, that's critical. Poor Greippi, man. This is not the finals he was looking for. I'd love to see him put a turret down here, because turrets are actually really good at close range against railguns. But aha, he's allocated his power. His carrier is going to be taking a lot of damage here, but he's going to be killing railguns. So, but moving into like 65%, I think it's time for him to back away here. However, his railguns are on the high ground now, and suddenly the great numbers disadvantage turns into, you know, a pretty even fight numbers-wise, but he's on the high ground. He's winning it. How did this happen? Suddenly he's going to kill all of these railguns. And Greippi knows that he's just going to GG. Oh my goodness. Because there's 2 artifacts out on the field, all the railguns have gone down. Garmilator's carrier is more powerful. He's going to win here. What is this? Ah! The carrier rush strategies, the new meta. Oh boy. What a game, man. What a series. I don't know, if you ever thought Garmilator was just like, all he does is LAVs, like, here's the proof, man. He knows how to cheese, too. I don't know, maybe that doesn't speak too much for him, but I really enjoyed that. I really love these, like, cheese strategies. Like, I know you're going to judge me for this, but if I hop into StarCraft 2, all I'm doing is cannon rushing. That's all I know how to do. I really enjoyed cheese, actually, and Desert Kharak does not have much of it, but this is pretty much as close as it gets. Garmilator, you monster. Well, surprise, surprise, he's the winner of the tournament, so Garmilator is going to take Kharak Cup number 3 as well. 4's not happened yet. Wow. Proving that even when the tournament organizers are bozos, get it, and they mess up the format totally, he can still win. Good show. Nicely done there. What an interesting tournament. Well, Garmilator unfortunately not going to be with us in Kharak Cup number 4. He's gotten pretty busy, so we're not going to be able to see him in Kharak Cup number 4, but he's got a 100% tournament win rate so far. I just want to point that out. This player is really dominant right now. Even Descara and oh, what's his face, Greippi. Yeah, the guy who's just playing, right? Haven't been able to take him down. So we've all been garmed by the Garmilator. Look at Aurora Borealis. It's beautiful. Although, wait a minute. Doesn't that kind of stuff happen toward like the poles of a planet? What's going on here? Somebody explain this.